Hey, it's Jessica, Barefoot Fit Jess. I wanted to give you a really quick rundown of what the 131 method is from my perspective. I started it last year. It was November 2017, right after Thanksgiving. What I had been doing before that for years, I jumped back into after having stillbirth our daughter around 32 weeks. I ended up with a C-section, and my hormones were all over the place. I had a really rough 6 weeks, definitely not taking care of myself. And once I started taking care of myself again, doing what I had been doing for the past 5 years before that, I wasn't making very much progress. I didn't feel like myself. I was very bloated in my midsection. A lot of healing has to go on after a C-section, but I just felt like what I was doing wasn't working. So I was open to trying something new. And around this time, Chalene Johnson created 131 method over a couple of years and had just released it to the public. I was part of the first round that started. We started right after Thanksgiving, and before Christmas, I lost 10 pounds. I was not expecting that to happen in less than a month, and it's a lifestyle that I've just continued because that was just the first phase. There's 3 phases. It's a 12-week program. So when you sign up, you pay the fee, and you get access to the program for a year at a time. What happens is you basically get a login to an account, and you have a dashboard. I'll give you a really quick look at what that looks like. It's different for everybody. Sorry for the glare, but I always log in on my iPad. It really makes it easy, and then I can just literally pop my headphones in. I can listen to my lessons. Sometimes they're video, sometimes they're audio. If you click on the lessons, and it goes right here. And so there's a set of lessons for every week. So you have a prep week before you start each phase. So basically, it's a prep week where you just listen to the lessons and then, kind of start preparing what you're buying for the next couple of weeks and all that kind of stuff, getting your mind right, kind of looking over the recipes, and then you start implementing that week 1. And you implement for week 1, week 2, and week 3. And then you have another prep week where things kind of change. And it's not a drastic change. It's just kind of phasing your macros. What ends up happening is it's really important for optimum gut health, for optimum metabolism, and to break through weight loss plateaus and all that kind of stuff. You have to phase your nutrition. So it's really important to kind of be aware of the kinds of foods you're eating. Like, what macro category do they fall in? Proteins, complex carbs, or healthy fats. So you kind of start off in fat burning mode, learning how to get into fat burning mode, how to eat and get your body into ketosis nutritionally, and then you're basically working on becoming fat adapted. And then you start phasing your macros and start focusing on micronutrients in the second phase. So you eat a lot less animal protein. You still have some healthy fats, but you really, really focus on those really healthy complex carbs, vegetables. And then you can introduce some fruits and stuff back in too. So then by the third phase, you've figured out how to get into fat burning mode. You've really focused and learned about your nutrients and maybe a little bit more in depth about, if you're using supplementation, do you really need it? What kind of supplementation do you need? How to phase your supplementation just like you phase your nutrition. So in the third phase, you have a prep week again, and then implement week 1, 2, 3 with phasing your nutrition during each week. So during the week, instead of staying in a certain, range for 3 weeks straight, but in each week, you'll have 2 fat burning days, a lean green day, and 3 carb charge days, a lean green day, and then fat burning days. And you just kind of repeat that cycle. So, during the week, you can switch it up if you want to. I like my carb charge days over the weekend unless I'm about to do the fast. They have optional mini fasts between the phases. I used to be against fast. I didn't really understand what the point of it was. I thought they were dangerous. Obviously, they're still not for everybody, and they go through the criteria that you need to listen to and the checklist that you need to read before you attempt to fast. But there's a whole lot of health benefits. I didn't realize that it actually really helped kill off bad bacteria in your gut. It greatly improves gut health, even if you just fast for 2 to 3 days. It gets you into ketosis within the first 24 hours. And you kill off dead or damaged cells. So, one of the things that lead to cancer is like damaged DNA. And there's a lot of different ways that DNA damage can happen. And doing a fast every once in a while helps your chances of just killing off that bad stuff. It's not about weight loss, but you might lose like a few pounds. And it's kind of a mindset thing. So anyway, I won't get into the fasting, but just know that that could be part of the plan for you. But it's not required, it's optional, and they go through all of that. Like, there's so much information. Basically, there's videos or audio lessons that you listen to each week. So there's like a few for each week, and you listen to them. You really want to retain the information. I'm on my third round of 131 methods since starting last year. I'm about to finish my third round, and I go back and I listen to the lessons for each week every week. So I've been listening to these lessons since after Thanksgiving last year for almost a year, and because they're really short. They're like all less than 30 minutes. Some are just like 3 minutes long, and it's just a lot of information about like why you're told to eat this way, not just eat this way. And I think understanding the why behind it empowers you. It kind of like gets into your subconscious more and helps you make better choices, it helps you make choices that align with the program without even really trying too hard. It just kind of becomes a lifestyle. You do have to pay attention. You do have to listen to the lessons, and they have downloaded material that you can have from like food list, sample meal plans, just to kind of show you what it looks like if you're planning those meals during each of those phases. There's all kinds of information about the carb counts for foods, because you do want to, you try to eat lower carb at first and lower carb overall. But it also teaches you about the vitamin content in a lot of the different foods, the supplements that are out there, like what's most commonly used and how much of the values are in each of those. And the biggest takeaway from this for me is that it's not a one size fits all. This is not like a meal plan that you get and this is how everybody eats for 3 weeks. And these are the supplements that everybody takes for 3 weeks. And then there's your results. It's more than that. It's way more than that. So you get all this information, you get these guidelines, and there's all these functional medicine doctors, registered dietitians, nutritionists, sleep experts, gut health experts, all this stuff in there contributing to this method. So they all have their own videos, they all have their own articles, they all have their own audios. And so you're taking in all this information and you do with it what you need to do with it. So, if somebody works night shift, their days are going to look different than mine. If somebody has like a inflammatory reaction to cheese, they're going to try to avoid eating cheese. And it teaches you how to test that. So there's a lot of kits and like blood tests and stuff that you can do to see like what foods you might be allergic to or whatever. But I haven't had to do any of that. And I've learned how to tell if a food is an inflammatory food for me. Just because it's, not part of the popular sugar, flour, or gluten, or, whatever that most people, those are inflammatory foods for most people. But there's also might be some healthy foods that are inflammatory foods for you. So Chalene Johnson, the creator of this, she has a lot at her disposal as far as financial and just, she's in California. She's around a lot of other progressive doctors and stuff. But she was, having weight loss resistance, kind of foggy headed and all this stuff. And she's like the picture of health and fit, right? She's the one that created Pio Live and, Turbo Fire and stuff. So she was just not feeling right, not feeling like herself. And she was very, consistent with her workouts and, very, clean eater. She just did not understand why she was feeling like that. And she ended up getting a brain scan, and it basically showed her brain looked like somebody that didn't know how to eat clean. And, it's just bizarre. And they found out it was because she had leaky gut. So there's a huge brain and gut connection that a lot of people don't realize. And if you don't have a healthy gut biome, the rest of your body is not as healthy as it may look. Like some people may look really healthy and they may work out a whole lot. But if you don't have a healthy gut, none of that other stuff matters because it affects your energy, your sleep, your immunity, your skin, your digestion, like all that stuff that really creates feeling good and living healthy. It's not going to be there. So she found out she was over exercising. She definitely the eating methods that she was using, by eating, within an hour of waking up and eating a small meal every 2 hours and all that kind of stuff, turns out that's actually not great for your gut health. And that's something that I used to do and that I used to teach people, because it worked for me for weight loss, but it wasn't what worked for improving my gut health. So do the best you can do until you know better, and then do better once you know better. So that's kind of how I had to view this, because I had to kind of swallow some pride. And she was part of a big company as a super trainer that, kind of did this not one way, but like this kind of ways of helping people lose weight and get healthier and stuff. And she kind of figured out that, oh, this is kind of the way I really need to be doing things, because she knew that she had leaky gut. And apparently there's like over 70% of us walking around with leaky gut and we don't even know it. So I've turned my attention to helping people improve their gut health, and that lends itself to weight loss, to better sleep, to better energy. All the things that we want to fix by losing weight, you actually need to start on the inside. So I love that the 131 method really targets getting healthier from the inside out. It really targets improving your gut health. It targets reducing inflammation, figuring out what inflammatory foods are for you. Because Shalene, she found out that kale and quinoa are inflammatory foods for her. So, she could tell, when she ate them. And so she avoids those superfoods that everybody's supposed to eat. She doesn't eat those very often because they cause her gastrointestinal distress and cause you bloat, cause you inflammation, cause you joint pain. I can tell, like, my knees get really achy. I bloat within 20 minutes of eating. Sometimes I get a runny nose and I'm like, and people think, oh, it's allergies, or, oh, I'm getting sick or whatever. So much disease and inflammation, all that stuff, it starts in the gut. It starts starts with not only what you put in your body, but also what you put on your body, and also your habits. So this is kind of a lifestyle program. It's not just, hey, eat this for 3 weeks. It's, so many of the lessons or the bonus material. There's a club section where there's just a lot of this bonus information from all these different doctors and nutritionists and registered dietitians and stuff, and gut health experts, and they share so much information about habit changes that may not even have anything to do with food necessarily, but just like how to get better sleep. If you're working out too much, I don't even work out every day anymore after learning what I've learned, and I don't push myself really hard most days a week. So there's just so many little things that we don't think about, that we've maybe been brainwashed over years and years and years to think, oh, this is what it means to be healthy. This is how I'm going to lose weight. And it's really, we're working against our bodies. So you learn all this information about how to work with your body, and there's no one size fits all. So your 131 method plan is going to look different than mine. Even though there's these set of guidelines that you follow and you phase, your phasing is going to look different than mine. And that's what's so key. It's teaching you how to create your best diet instead of telling you what to do and how to do it. So I think it's worth it for everybody to go through it. I don't care where you are in your health journey, because I've studied nutrition and stuff for 6 years, and I learned something every time I listen to one of these lessons. The next biggest thing that it helps you do is balance your hormones, which all starts in your gut too. A lot of our hormones are actually created in our gut. So you have to have, a sealed and healed gut, not a leaky gut. You have to have, get rid of any gut dysbiosis to make sure you have more good bacteria than bad bacteria. There's just so many things that, people don't think about with improving their health that has to do with improving your gut health first. And, it's kind of a buzzword, and there are a lot of supplements out there that are supposed to help with gut health. But, this program really teaches you how to do it nutritionally, and then to be very, thorough when you're doing, if you're going to do a detox or whatever it is, if you're going to take probiotics, it teaches you how to find the right ones, the quality ones, the ones that aren't harsh, the ones that have ingredients that are worthy of your money and your time and all that. So it's led me to some different supplements, and I've only been taking them this year. I just started on them. And some of the stuff that I was drinking or taking for years and years, I don't do anymore because I realized it was not best for my gut health. So I've learned how to phase my nutrition. I've learned how to phase my supplementation, and even learned how more important it is to phase my fitness. So it's just pretty wonderful, and I definitely can tell that my hormones are more balanced. I'm sleeping better than ever, and my focus is really on these habits and my nutrition and all that stuff that helps improve my gut health. So you get access to this program, like I said, for a year at a time. It's totally worth it, in my opinion. I'll show you when you click like on the introduction for the very first set of videos that you would watch. Is my computer, my iPad's not cooperating with me. There you go. So when you click on it, so like these are the lessons for the introduction. So you watch the video. Shalene's in a lot of the lessons, and then a lot of the club material is where a lot of the experts are. And there are some of the experts and the registered dietitians and stuff that either have audios or videos in the lessons as well. And then let me go ahead and show you. So right here, like the little navigation menu. Oops, that's the recipes. I was trying to click. That was the lessons. I'm trying to click the recipes. So there's just tons and tons and tons. Like this is just sections, and you can click on them, and there's just so many that come up. There's also a search bar at the top. So if you have ingredients that you want to use, find a recipe that uses them. If you have if you're in a certain like phase, first phase, second phase, or third phase, you can search the name of the phase, and it can help you find recipes that fit that phase. Like I said, there's download materials underneath. So it talks about allergies, so much about hormones and all that, how it relates to the gut, your cycle. There's just so much information. Certain products that might be really helpful that you've never used before. I can't even describe to you how amazing all this. Look, that's just, and they add to the recipes and add to the club every single week. So it's like never ending information. So I'm officially down 34 pounds since starting last November. So that's not a whole lot in a year. I don't really have that much more weight that I want to lose. The biggest thing is like my belly bloat right above my C-section scar would not budge before I started 131. And it is what was a huge leap into seeing results from that. And then really focusing on my gut health and doing a gut detox. I do it seasonally now after figuring out what kind of supplements would be best for my body. And I just want this feeling for everybody. And I know that, it's kind of really hard to explain what 131 method is. And I just tell people to trust me. Just trust me and just do it, and you won't regret it. You're not going to do it perfectly. I don't do it perfectly. But you just do the best you can, and you continue to learn. Commit to being a forever student and using this material to continue learning, to continue getting better every day. We're always aiming to be better, not perfect. So doing this method and learning as you go is better than just following a fad diet or just guessing at it or just still feeling lost. I really love Chalene Johnson anyway. She's a very positive, magnetic, energetic, happy, very service-oriented person. So the fact that she went through this for about 2 or 3 years to heal her own gut and then created this program, to put it out there all on her own, like not with a company, not with anything else, to put it out there for people, I think speaks volumes. And I was invited to be an ambassador because I was in the first round of people who did it. So I jumped on that chance because I would love for everybody to just go through this and learn this information. So if you use my link to sign up, I have a private Facebook group that it's just a support group for anybody that uses my link to sign up to help you through it. And we share what recipes that we, tried that we really are fans of, or maybe something that we had a hard time with. We kind of check in on each other. We're all in different spots, in the program. We didn't all sync up and start at the exact same time. So it's just kind of fun to see where everybody is. And there's already been a lot of progress. People losing 15 and 16 pounds. People wearing clothes they haven't worn in forever. People having enough energy to play with their kids. People being able to not have to have dessert when they're out, and they don't even want it. They're not even craving sugar like they used to. So, it's just amazing. So anyway, if you're interested in balancing your hormones, reducing inflammation, figuring out what foods are inflammatory for you, and just improving your gut health, I highly suggest doing 131 method. So let me know if you have any questions, and I would be more than happy to help you through it.